Hello and welcome to week 7 of high school football Friday night. I'm Walt Moody, the sports editor of Winchester Star, along with Robert Niedzwicki and Robert Stocks. We're going to talk a little bit about this week's games. It's kind of homecoming week this week. We've got 3 homecoming football games this Friday night. Hanley is at Millbrook, Liberty is at James Wood, Central is at Clark County, and the one game that's not a homecoming game is Martinsburg at Sharando. Our first game we'll talk about is Hanley 3-3 at Millbrook 6-0. Rob,
Millbrook's top-rated team in the region, but Hanley 3-3. They surpassed last year's win total with a 48-27 win against Fauquier last week. And that was big for Hanley. Season high in points and season high in yards, 453. Because Millbrook's averaging well over 50 points a game, so Hanley's going to have to score to stay in this one. It was big for them to get Kevin Curry involved, 8 catches for 181 yards and 3 touchdowns. Malachi Emos run the Wildcat, 165 yards, 11 carries, and 161 yards, 11 carries, and 2 touchdowns. So, but yeah, Millbrook's playing better defensively, holding Kettle under 300 yards last week and forcing 3 turnovers. So, Hanley can find a way to score with Millbrook. They might be all right, but Savon Smith is 18 receiving and rushing touchdowns combined this year, and Isaac Brand has thrown for 11 touchdown passes. So, Coach John Davis is very wary of that duo, and that's going to be the key, just to kind of slow them down a little bit.
Next up is a pair of unbeaten teams. Central at 5-0, coming in against Clark County at 6-0. Rob will talk a little bit about that one.
It's definitely a huge district opener for Clark County, facing a Central team that beat them 22-21 last year. So, there's definitely going to be some motivation for the Eagles to try to, start off strong in the district and get a win over a team that beat them last year. Central comes in averaging 51.2 points per game, and their defense is just giving up 11.4 points per game. So, they put up similar numbers offensively and defensively for points for and points against with Clark, overall. And they're coming off a big win at King William. They won 52-16 last week. Clark coach Chris Parker said that they like to have a balanced offense, but they run a little bit more than pass. About 62% run is what they saw in scouting, at least. So, they're expecting to have to deal with, a power running game that the Falcons feature, which is usually running back Shane Watson and Hunter Mullins. And they have a I formation and also shotgun formations that they feature with quarterback Zeb Dyer. And, Parker said he's really hoping the team plays with more intensity. He thought that was something that was lacking when they, beat Warren County 29-21 last week. Clark still rushed pretty well. They had 285 yards rushing, which is a little bit below their average. But, Peyton Rutherford still had 114 yards on 22 carries and 2 scores. So he's got an area best 18 rushing touchdowns. So, they're hoping to get the ground game going, and, Parker's looking for a tough and physical game against the Falcons.
I'll talk a little bit about 2 teams that are coming off byes last week. Liberty is at 5-0, going up against James Wood. It's 2-3. The Colonels, even though they lost their last game against Hedgesville 28-23, Coach Ryan Morgan said that he believes that was their best game, and the players believe that was their best game all year. Liberty is coming off a 31-28 win over Sharando in a battle of unbeatens. This is a tough matchup for the Colonels. Liberty is very big and very fast. They've got 3 tremendous skill players in Markel Gaskins, who likes to run out of the Wildcat. Javon White is a receiver who also will carry the ball. He scored 3 touchdowns against Sharando, 1 on an interception return as well. And little bowling ball running back Lester Parker is quick, and he runs with power. So it'll be a very big test for the James Wood defense. The Colonels played a couple of quarterbacks last week, Carson Hoberg and Mike Seabarth. Coach Morgan said that they'll see how that goes this week. They both may play again. The big key, he believes, is the offensive line, that they have to keep a really big and really fast Liberty defensive line out of their backfield, or it's going to be a long night. Last up is West Virginia Power, Martinsburg, coming in at 6-0 against Sharando at 4-1.
Martinsburg's West Virginia defending state champs. They've won 20 straight games. They've had a lot of talent back from last year. They got quarterback Tyson Bagent. So completed 67% of his passes, 1,041 yards, 14 touchdowns this year. Dwayne Grantham's their top running back as an outside linebacker. He's been offered by West Virginia University. And they got defensive end Tatus Slade, the state's defensive player of the year last year. They have him back as well. So a lot of talent on both sides of the ball there. Martinsburg's outscored its opponents 321-36, only giving up 3 first half points all year. Beat Washington 57-0 last week. But Sherando actually gave them one of their tougher games last year. It was 35-28, and they forced 4 turnovers. So that's going to be key for Sherando this week. Maybe they've been pretty good at forcing turnovers this year. And last week, even coming off their bye, since they played Liberty 2 weeks ago, they gave up less than 300 yards, but they gave us some big plays. So that's one of the key points of emphasis this week is just limiting that big play ability that Martinsburg has. They could probably stay with them if they do that. Quarterback Hunter Ensminger got injured for Sherando in that last game in a fourth quarter 2-point conversion. Sherando coach Bill Hall just said he's good when asked about his status for this week. So we'll see how effective Ensminger is because Sherando's going to need a multi-dimensional attack to stay with Martinsburg and give the Cells a chance to win this game.
All right, we thank you for watching again this week. Obviously, with all those homecoming games, you can't be everywhere, so follow us on Twitter at WinStar Sports 1, and we'll update you live from all the games. Thank you.